Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism series, Dhamma talk number 17. Beautiful mental factors. Sobhana, Cetasika. We are being discussing about 52 mental factors, Cetasika. And there are 3 groups under that 52 mental factors. The first group is called common to another. It has 2 subdivisions or subgroups and consists of 13 mental factors. The first subgroup contains 7 mental factors, and these are associated with every kinds of consciousness, all 121. And the second subgroup contains 6 mental factors and are associated with 55 consciousness. And all these 13 are neutral in their character, but they become wholesome or unwholesome based on the types of consciousness they associated with. The second group is called unwholesome mental factors, akusala cetasika. It has 5 subgroups and consists of 14 mental factors. 4 of them are associated with all types of unwholesome consciousness. 3 associated with greed-rooted consciousness. 4 associated with anger-rooted consciousness. 2 of the mentals are associated with one of the delusion consciousness, moha ceta. And the last, the 5th, is a standalone, just a single mental factor. So there are 5 subgroups under the heading of akusala cetasika, unwholesome mental factors. And we have finished discussing about those 2 groups. Today we are going to step into the 3rd group. The 3rd group is called beautiful mental factors. In Pali, Sobhana Cetasika. Sobhana means beautiful, graceful. And all these beautiful mental factors are wholesome. And it has 4 subgroups. 4 subgroups. The first subgroup is called universal, beautiful mental factors. The second is called abstinence mental factors. And the third subgroup is called limitless mental factors. And the fifth subgroup is called standalone wisdom. Altogether, 25 of them. So if you look at it, the first one, common to another, has 13. Second one, unwholesome group, has 14. 13 plus 14, 27. And the last one is 25. 27 plus 25, 52. So these are all 52 mental factors that invariably associated with different types of consciousness. You can say in general there are 89 types of consciousness. In detail, 121. So let's talk about the first subgroup of the beautiful mental factors. It is called universal beautiful mental factors. Sabha, Sobhana, Cetasika. Sabha is universal, common, everything. Sobhana, beautiful, graceful. Cetasika, mental factor. There are 19 beautiful mental factors in this group. And all of these arises with all 59 beautiful consciousness. There are 59 beautiful consciousness. That is why it is called universal. So this group is common to all beautiful consciousness. For that reason, it is called universal. The group doesn't arise with unwholesome consciousness or rootless consciousness. They never associate with those two types of consciousness, unwholesome or rootless. This group arises with sense sphere consciousness, form sphere consciousness, formless sphere consciousness, supramundane, lokuttara consciousness. They arise only with those types. Now we are going to discuss this 19 beautiful mental factors one by one. If you want to understand a mental factor fully, You must know its characteristics, its functions, its manifestations, and proximate cause or causes. And if you can't remember all 4 categories, at least you must know the characteristics so that you can identify it, so that you can recognize it when you are experiencing it. And the first of the beautiful mental factors, Buddha opened with this one, Saddha, translated as verifiable faith. Simply they use the word faith, I put the word verifiable. Verifiable faith and confidence. That is Saddha. Buddhist faith is not a blind faith. It is always associated with understanding. One may not comprehend at the beginning fully, but can be verified as the investigation into it goes on. Bit by bit, you will come to understand and experience yourself what the Buddha had explained to us, or the elders. It is always associated with understanding to a certain degree. That's why the word confidence is also used to translate this word Saddha. So faith and confidence is Saddha. Its characteristic is putting faith or belief or trust. If you put faith, if you put belief, if you put trust in something, someone, then that is Saddha. Remember, there must be understanding associated with it. Even though you believe, trust, or put faith, not blind. Understanding associated with it to a certain degree of understanding. Its function is to clarify. Its function is to give clarity. Let's say one cannot see the bottom of a pond because the waters are muddy. You can't see through and you don't know what underneath is. But if the water is clear, you can see the bottom of the lake with clarity. Can see with clarity if the water is clear or not muddy. That's the function of Saddha. When Saddha comes in, you can see things clearly. You can see with clarity. There's no if or but, no doubt. Saddha gives clarity to the condition of whatever one is investigating. And also its functions can be put in this way. Its function is to set forth the right code, to set forth. A group of people, let's say, are at a torrential stream bank. A bunch of friends, 5, 6 people. They were hiking, come to across a torrential bank. The stream is not too wide to jump, but at the same time wide enough to have doubt that you could. The river is really flowing, and there you have a very important appointment on the other side of the river. So they are talking, and one in the group say, okay, I'm going to give a try, because that person believes in himself. I can do that. And he just take a little few step backs, ran it up and jumped, and got safely onto the other side. And as soon as the rest of the friends saw that their friend could do, they gained confidence. No, we can do it. If he can do it, we can do it. And then one after the other, they jump and they jump and they jump and safely arrive to the other side. At first, no, they didn't dare to. That is saddha. That is confidence. Saddha set forth things into motion without hesitation. That's what set forth means. Saddha set forth things into motion without hesitation. Now manifestation. And its manifestation is non-fogginess. Or you can say it manifests as removal of mental impurities. Or you can say it manifests as making up the mind. You make up the mind. When you make up the mind, you take on that object, or you take on that situation or condition or task, and you commit yourself to it. That's it. That is what saddha manifests as. And its proximate cause. Its proximate cause is something to place faith or confidence in. That something is the proximate cause. Something to put faith or confidence in. From the Buddhist perspective, it is having faith in Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, and karma and vipaka, cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. That is a simple, direct representation. But let's see, in a practical sense, what does it mean? Okay, that's too big a thing. Having faith in Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, karma, vipaka. So in a practical, I'll put on a practical operational sense. We are now yogis, we are the practicing yogis who are listening here. A yogi must have saddha in associating with the wise person. The wise person, the holy person, the one who is very learned as well as both theory and practice in the Buddhism. That's the wise and the holy. One must associate. And also one listen. I shouldn't say must. The practical sense. One has a wanting to, willing to associate with the wise and holy person. And also listening to the Dharma talks, reflecting on the Dharma talks. You reflect, you analyzed, you try to make sense, and practicing them. Associate with a teacher, listen to his talks, reflect, question, discuss, and then practice. And these are actually the requirements if you want to become a noble person, if you want to become a stream winner, Satipatthana. So that is the operational strategy of having faith in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and the law of karma. You can view it that way. So simple for a yogi, straight. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Saddha is like a hand. Without a hand, one cannot pick up. Even if you see a precious and valuable things right under your nose, without the hand you cannot pick up. Just like that, without having saddha, one cannot pick up the jewel of Satipatthana, the jewel of First Noble Personship. Saddha is like a source of a river. High up in the mountain, that's a source. It all started from the source. The water flows and the river runs. Without that source, there's no river. Just like that, saddha is the source for all wholesome actions to start from. Without saddha, all wholesome actions cannot start, cannot begin. It is like a seed. Once you have a seed planted, a tree grows, branches grows, flowers and fruits come into reality. All start from a seed. Without that seed, a tree and the flowers and branches and fruits cannot come into existence. Without saddha, all the wholesome actions cannot come into existence. Especially the stream winner, Satipatthana, into existence. Because in general, wholesome things you can find in anywhere, everywhere. not necessarily saddha, Buddhist saddha. Buddhist saddha flow into the Ariya field, in the domain of Ariya, noble person. For that, you need Buddhist type of saddha. So, to become a stream winner, Satipatthana, it begins with saddha. Saddha must always be balanced with wisdom or understanding. Otherwise, one will become gullible, or one can step into the field of raga, lust. Saddha is so willing and wanting to do, and if you don't check with the wisdom or understanding, you'll be taking advantage by others, gullible. Or you just willing and wanting to help, to believe in someone so much, eventually it is not just wanting to help that person. You step into the raga, lustful field. It can happen. So, I think this will be sufficient enough to understand saddha from the point of characteristics, functions, manifestation, and the proximate cause. So, second mental factor. This is the first. The Buddha opened with saddha, because that is where everything springs. So that's importance. That's why it took the first position. The second position is taken by sati, mindfulness. Once you have saddha, the second one you have to start plugging in is mindfulness. The word sati in Pali, S-A-T-I, its root meaning is straight out remembering. Sati means remembering, language-wise, Pali language-wise. Okay, what does you remember? What does one remember? Remembering all that is wholesome and good. Not just remembering anything. Once you say mindfulness, whenever one remembers, remembering anything that is wholesome and good. However, this sati, mindfulness, as a mental factor, Cetasika, mindfulness as a mental factor does not imply remembering at all. And what implies is paying direct and full attention to the object of the present moment. That's what it means as a mental factor. Mindfulness as a mental factor is paying direct and full attention to the object of the present moment. Sati, mindfulness in general, meaning-wise, is remembering all that is good and wholesome. Sati as a mental factor is paying direct and full attention to the object of the present moment. So don't get confused between the two. They are entirely different, but somehow it is connected. You will see why and how. Its characteristic is non-superficiality. It's not superficial at all. What it means is it goes right into the object. It doesn't float around the object. It doesn't dance around the object. In other words, you seriously take this. Not just passing by and aware of it. This is seriously, you stop and you put every ounce that you have onto that object. That is its characteristics. Its function is non-forgetfulness. It means sati places a firm grip on the object of observation. So that it won't lose till it's dissolved by itself. Non-forgetfulness. If you forget something, it's not with you. If you don't forget, it is with you. That's what it means by non-forgetfulness mean. So that means sati, mindfulness, put a firm grip on the object. When you put a firm grip on the object, you cannot lose. And you observe it till the object dissolves and disappears on its own accord. That's its function. And also that sati, it arises instantly. As soon as the one object dissolves, it arises instantly. Along with the next object of the present moment. In other words, that mindfulness is always at the present moment, present moment, present moment, with the object that is occupying that space and time. But always there, at the present moment. And it manifests as a guardian or a gatekeeper. Manifests as a guardian or a gatekeeper. It watches. Mindfulness watches at all six sense door. That mindfulness, all six sense door. Eye door, ear door, nose door, tongue door, body door, mind door. 6 doors. Mindfulness is like a guardian and a gatekeeper of those 6 doors. It does not allow any mental defilements to come through those doors. Does not allow anybody to come in. You check the ID, check your passport, so that it is a friend, not a fool, so that it is wholesome, not unwholesome mental defilements. That's why the Buddha said, it is the only sure way to keep the mind purified How? By always keeping face to face with the object at the 6 gates, at the 6 sense door. If you can do that, the mind will be 100% purified at all times. But you must be a gatekeeper, you must be a guardian at the 6 sense door, checking all the time, wholesome, unwholesome. Unwholesome, reject the visa. Wholesome, you print the visa to enter. The proximate cause is the full foundation of mindfulness. Just plain and simple. I always like to stress on a more practical and operational sense. Proximate cause is the full foundation of mindfulness. By developing the full foundation of mindfulness, by developing it, a strong perception of mindfulness will be established. You cannot establish a strong mindfulness without practicing it. Why do you practice? You practice to develop full foundation of mindfulness. By developing full foundation of mindfulness, you established a strong perception of mindfulness. That's why you will see a one-line answer. What is the cause? What is the proximate cause? Mindfulness is the cause and mindfulness is the effect. One-line answer. But to clarify it, that's what it is. One must develop full foundation of mindfulness so that one can establish a strong perception of mindfulness. So these are the 2 mental factors the Buddha right out open when he taught us about Cetasika mental factors, the beautiful mental factors, Sobhana Cetasika. Without sada, no other things can really follow. And once you have sada, you must be mindful. Only when you are mindful, you can navigate through this thick of wholesome and unwholesome fields, and you can reject all that is unwholesome, and you can embrace all that is wholesome. So, for this talk, we will end here, and we will keep on going till all the 19 beautiful universal mental factors are completed. May all of you be able to understand all the unwholesome mental factors that one needs to reject or eliminate, and all the beautiful, wholesome mental factors that we need to develop and march towards the goal of Satipatthana as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.